Hello and welcome to RoboMonk Art and Tarot. I am RoboMonk. Thank you so much for being here with me today. I truly appreciate you adding your energy to this reading. I wanted you to know that I am doing personal readings now, so if you want a personal reading from me, please check down below for any of the info that you need. Today is a collective reading, so I invite you to stay to the end of the video because the whole message is for you. Spirit has a beautiful truth to share with us today, and I'm excited to share it with you. So let's go to the video now. Thank you for being here with me today. As you can see, there are no cards here for this reading. It is a collective, but Spirit is going to take us on a journey together. Spirit has a beautiful truth for us to learn about today. So I will draw images as usual, but they're going to be in sequence. You'll see what I mean as we get started. Before we are born, we are a beautiful soul, and we are waiting to come down into our human body. We have collective knowledge about the past experiences that we've had through different lives, and now we are coming back down again to experience another. But we have such a close connection with Spirit at this time because we are one with Spirit. And so what happens when we come down to this earth plane? What exactly happens to our soul? This is part of Spirit's message today. So when we come down and we are just a baby, we are born, we take on this physical form, but our soul remains in this physical form. And now we are experiencing earth plane very differently than we would as a soul. But we are still closely connected to Spirit when we are infants. Sometimes it is said that infants can see things that adults can't. It's due to their soul's closeness with Spirit. When we come down here, we are somewhat limited in how we can experience this world. Before we came down here, we could experience Spirit and this world in so many different ways. But when we are part of a human body, we can only have certain ways to experience this world. And that is the five senses: sight, taste, sound, touch, smell. And innately, when we are infants and small children, we still have that connection with Spirit. So our soul seems to be still connected. So we still have that spiritual outreach, and we are getting different information from Spirit directly. So what happens when we are infants and our soul is still closely aligned to Spirit, and then we grow older? What is the difference? Why do we feel different? Why do we feel more alone when we are older? Even as children, some experiences can make us feel alone. And it's almost this separation from Spirit, right? That the earth plane becomes very heavy with responsibilities or experiences that we have, some good, some bad, right? It's usually a lot of times the negative experiences that really make us feel alone and pull us away from Spirit. I see an adult carrying many, many different packages, many different responsibilities, many different experiences that they've had. There's a lot of rocky road that they're trying to carry these packages on, and it's just not an easy time. It's not an easy time for this adult. And I think we can all truly say we have been here before as an adult, where this world seems too much to handle, too much to carry, and too much to experience. And it's at this point that we lose sight of spirit, and we are more focused on this earth plane, right? Because we have so many things to worry about. Our brain can only handle so much. And if there's a lot of problems coming at us here in this earth plane, then we just try and focus on those. And what Spirit is saying right now is that's a very human thing to do. And that's what our soul is right now, and how it's experiencing this world is through human experiences. So this human experience is to survive, right? To make the problems go away as best as we can, and to try and rely on everything of our earthly senses. And sometimes it's so easy to forget about that spiritual help. And Spirit is still with us. Spirit never leaves us. And our guides are still with us. As you can see, we still have our angels, our guides, our past loved ones that have gone before us, all looking out for us. And they are still trying to communicate with us, but we can't really hear them very well at certain points in our lives, especially when we are trying to do it on our own. We are trying to solve our problems on our own because we are trying to survive, right, in this human body. So, as you can see, between us being little babies and us being adults, we've lost two senses. We've lost that spiritual connection and those downloads from Spirit, right? So our soul is starving. Our soul is starving for that spiritual connection. And it's really this human body that has been taking over and commanding all of the energy that it has into this survival if we have to solve problems or whatever it is that we're experiencing in this earth plane. And the soul has continued to really diminish as far as its influence on the human body and its control over the human body. So it's really starving at this point. When people say they feel empty inside, from my experience, that's exactly what that is. It's that feeling where your soul is trying to connect to Spirit and to get messages from Spirit and to understand why it's here, where it's going, why things are happening. And there's this block in between because all of the energy is going towards survival of this human body, and none of it's going towards getting this soul to have information or to have its spiritual connection. Now, as I said before, Spirit never quits on us. Never. Spirit will give us signs of birds, butterflies, telephone calls with certain messages on it. Even sometimes different ads or TV shows speak to us, and they really ring true, right? That's why we like to watch entertainment. Sometimes it really hits us, right? It makes us cry. And you may not really know why at that point, but that's spirit talking to you, right? That is spirit trying to communicate to you. And it's so easy with our souls being in this human body to just say, oh, you know what? That's a bird. That's a butterfly. That's just a message. It didn't mean anything. Because we're still thinking about experiencing this world with our 5 senses instead of our 7 senses, right? And we have forgotten through our responsibilities and experiences what it's like to be connected to spirit. And so what happens is this earth plane will keep giving us problems to deal with. And I'll tell you right now, we are not, as just human bodies, strong enough to deal with this on our own. None of us are. I'm not, you're not, no one is. We need that spiritual connection to strengthen our soul. And with that soul connection to spirit, we can do anything. But I don't know if you've ever felt like this. I'm picturing just boxes on boxes on boxes on top of this human body here, this self. And this person can barely stand up. They can't move. This earth plane has really weighed them down. They're trying. They haven't given up, but they can barely move because it's so heavy. And when I felt like that, and I don't know if you can relate, let me know. But when I felt like that, I knew something needed to change. Something needed to change. And I didn't know there was this actual spiritual connection. I just didn't. I learned stories about it, and I didn't think they were real. And it was this first actual experience where my soul could reconnect with spirit, communicate with spirit, and allowed to actually thrive again, where I could feel so much lighter. I could feel like there was something else helping me out there. Because when you're in this mode of I can do it, I will do it, and then you can't, you're trying to use all of your earthly senses, right? Your sight, touch, hearing, smell, and taste. And of course, with spirit, you can't sense any of that, right? So it doesn't seem real. But when you learn how to connect with spirit, it's probably the truest sensation you will ever have. And the strength that you can get from it leaves me speechless. So this beautiful truth that spirit is telling us today is that it wants to talk to you. It wants to talk to you, your soul. It wants to connect with you. It wants your soul to experience it in only the way your soul can. To check in on you, to see how you're doing, to uplift you, to give you those positive feelings again. And when we do this, and especially on a regular basis, because who doesn't want to feel that on a regular basis? Then our human body actually reacts to this as well, because our soul is growing inside, growing in influence again. And it will actually embolden our human body as well. We will be able to have a reserve of strength to tackle these problems that this earth plane gives us. We will have this knowledge to hopefully overcome certain instances that we thought just were insurmountable before. And we realize that everyone we meet has this soul inside them as well. And we aren't alone. And that's what brings us together here too, because we're all experiencing this earth plane together. That's why here on this channel, we have this connection, right? We have this connection. We can reach out to one another and connect like that. And that's beautiful because we are made of the same stuff. We are made of the same spirit. So, I don't know if you've experienced any of this yet, or if you have and you want to share about it, please do. I know I have. I've experienced this all. The not knowing, the forgetting, trying to do it all on my own, ignoring the signs, and then finally the awakening. That beautiful, beautiful awakening. And Spirit wants to reach you today. If you're just starting your journey here on this earth plane, then that's wonderful, because you get a jump start to know that there is this connection out there. And if you are in the middle or ending your journey on this earth plane, then you get to be renewed. And that's beautiful too. So thank you again for being here with me. Know that you're loved. Know that you're blessed. And I'll see you next time.